Everyone called you mature for your age. Teachers loved you, adults trusted you. While other kids were being kids, you were reading the room, managing emotions, keeping the peace, solving problems no child should even understand, let alone fix. And everyone treated it like a compliment. She's so mature. He's wise beyond his years. You're the responsible one. But here's what nobody said out loud. A child who acts like an adult isn't mature. They're surviving. Psychologists have a word for this. It's called parentification. It's when a child is forced into the role of caregiver, protector, or emotional anchor for the people who were supposed to play that role for them. Maybe you were the one who calmed your mother down after every fight. Maybe you raised your younger siblings while your parents worked or checked out. Maybe you learned to cook at 8, not because it was fun, but because nobody else was going to. Maybe you became the therapist, the mediator, the one who always knew the right thing to say, because if you didn't, everything fell apart. You weren't gifted with maturity. You were robbed of childhood. And your brain adapted brilliantly. It learned to scan for danger in facial expressions. It learned to predict emotional explosions before they happened. It learned to shrink your own needs into nothing because there wasn't room for yours when everyone else's were so loud. That hyper-awareness people admire in you now, that's a surveillance system built by a kid who couldn't afford to miss a signal. Here's what makes this so painful to untangle. The world kept rewarding you for it. Every time someone said, "You're so responsible," your brain filed that as proof. This is how I earn love. Not by being a child, not by being messy or playful or needy, by being useful, by being easy, by being the one who never asks for anything. And that contract you signed at 7 years old, you're still honoring it at 27, at 37. You're still the friend everyone leans on, still the partner who manages everything, still the person who handles crisis with terrifying calm, while internally you're screaming for someone to just take care of you for once. But you won't ask, because asking means being a burden, and being a burden means being abandoned. And that equation was written so deep into your operating system that you don't even recognize it as a belief anymore. It just feels like truth. If any of this is hitting close to home right now, do me a small favor. Hit subscribe and share this with someone who needs to hear it. That's all. Back to the video. Here's what I need you to hear. The maturity was never yours to carry. It was placed on you by adults who couldn't carry their own. And the fact that you handled it doesn't mean you were built for it. It means you had no choice. Children aren't supposed to regulate their parents' emotions. They're supposed to have their emotions regulated by their parents. When that gets reversed, the child learns something devastating. My feelings are less important than everyone else's. My needs are inconvenient. I exist to stabilize others. And the grief here is strange, because you're not grieving something that was taken, you're grieving something you never had. The mess, the freedom, the permission to fall apart and trust that someone bigger would catch you. You never got to be bad at things. You never got to be selfish. You never got to be a kid who just needed their parent without earning it first. And now you're an adult who doesn't know how to receive care without feeling guilty, who doesn't know how to rest without feeling lazy, who doesn't know how to need someone without feeling like you're failing. You are not too much for wanting something you never got. You are not selfish for finally putting yourself first. And you are not broken for struggling with the one thing everyone assumed came naturally to you, being okay. The most mature thing you can do now is let yourself be the child you never got to be, even if it's late, even if it's messy, especially if it's messy. You carried enough. You can put it down now. If this hit home, please subscribe.